Picture this. You're going off on a run, you're going to a city, you're saying goodbye to your friend, and you're making a turn, and guess what?
I'll see you at Brixton, man. I'll meet you at Brixton. I'll meet you at Brixton. I'll see you later, man. Hey.
This happens. The fact is, even a decade later, something as small as the wind, which way the wind is blowing, the temperature in the area, literally anything can affect what happens whenever you drive in DayZ, and whether or not you may subscribe and help me get to 2,000. Earlier this week, I addressed how DayZ's anti-cheat feature is basically non-existent, and how little moderation it has, if any at all. Well, let's dig into it a little bit more in this video. DayZ doesn't really have any developers at all. They have a small handful working on the game. And to make matters worse, they aren't just working on it on one platform. They're working on it for both console and PC, which slows it down just a little bit. Naturally, PC is given priority over console. Console is always one update behind. Even still, if you're not satisfied with the current update, you can go to the DayZ launcher and switch to experimental, and you can play the experimental update that's out now, which of course is called experimental because they're testing new features, new guns, whatever the case may be. The caveat is that you are trying out those new features, for example, the newest features of the newest update, some new scopes, but most notably, driving is much better. I was watching a rally driving video on 1.28, the newest version, and it looked very smooth. It looked great, much more improved. However, not amazing, because this is still DayZ. This is still, the Arma developers at work here, so it's not going to be perfect. It probably will never be perfect. However, if you are new to driving, there are definitely some things you should consider before you get behind that wheel. And there are things you should consider each and every time. It's a lot like real-life driving. Where do you want to go? How fast do you want to get there? Of course, the difference is, you don't have to adhere to speed. But, well, you kind of do, actually, because if you go too fast, you might get a lag. You might load in someone's base, and that might be it, because you're going too fast. Your game might crash. You might lag. Somebody else might lag. There's a lot of things that could potentially happen for no reason at all, and that is this game. And you have to get used to that fact no matter what. I know you guys might have gotten your hands on a Gunter or a Sarka or even an Olga, and you're like, hey man, I don't even care what kind of car this is. I just want to drive it as fast as possible because I don't give a fuck. You're going to care whenever you lose the car. Whenever you have enough crashes in this game, not even like software, like literal car crashes in this game, you'll begin to understand. The more you drive, the more you take the car for a spin, so to speak, you will understand how touchy things are and how careful you need to be. You need to do everything cautiously, and you just need to have care when you do shit, when you make a turn, when you speed up, when you stop, for Christ's, because if there's anything this game has taught me, it's that anything can go wrong at any time. There is no save. There is no... whatever happens, happens. But just generally slow down before you enter a city, and speed up whenever you're leaving that city, you know what I mean? If you know that the next 3 kilometers are going to be country, you can probably go a little bit faster. If you know they're going to be straight away, nice straight roads without much of a turn, you might be able to hit a little over 100 kilometers in no sweat. But if you're taking a bunch of fucking turns, you're driving down a mountain or some shit, like there's some rocks, you should probably go like, I don't know what, 40, 50, 60. Slow down, okay? It's your only car, probably, and you don't want to fucking lose it, You've already spent, like, the entire day finding all the parts for this car, so you definitely don't want to lose it. And definitely not the first time you've driven it, right? Now that being said, I can't really put it any better than that. Just take care with what you're doing. It'll come with experience, I guess. There's not really a better way to put it. But the more you do it, the more you'll get used to it. You know what I mean? And the longer we wait, hopefully, the more DayZ will continue to get updated. It's a shame it's taken as long as it has. It'd be nice to have fucking helicopters and planes and shit, but just now we're getting boats. Okay, we just got a new map. Maybe 10 years is how long it took Bohemia to be like, hey, maybe we should treat DayZ with some attention. Maybe with the new DLC, because it's been quite a few years since we got Livonia, right? They might give DayZ a little bit more attention. They might care about it more, which would be nice. But they've already said repeatedly that DayZ is a loss leader. Like they don't really make any money on it. So these DLCs they help them get their money back, and hopefully that'll go towards more developers funding for the game. Basically, you know what I mean? And if we get more funding for the game, that means potentially more updates, more things in every update, and so on and so forth. I know. Having new guns every update is great. Potentially a new ammo type, a new armor, more clothing colors. I know, all that stuff is great. But if you've been playing this game for longer than a month, you want something that isn't just you want something that actually is like a new fucking thing, right? You want a gun, another car, the boats, even though they're not really much, they're just these little dinghies. They are a change. Are they anything huge? No, not really, but we did just get a new map. I know a lot of people say they're just piggybacking off of Namalsk, but hey, you know what? Maybe they are. And even if they are, guess what? DayZ just got a huge update for the first time in like at least 5 years, right? 4, 5, 6 years, some shit, dude. Be happy they're giving it any attention at all, because they don't have the developers. They don't have the staff to do shit. They can't moderate it. They like official is a fucking wasteland, dude. Dupers get onto it like daily, you know, fucking modders, hackers. It's a wonder the game runs in the first place, let alone get updates, you know? I'm just saying, okay, it's something to think about whenever you hop on. Because they don't have like a subscription model, they don't have microtransactions, they don't have that sort of scaling for their game. It's just you buy the game and that's it. And you know what? There's not even that many games out there that even do that. So we should be thankful for what we have. But at the same time, it's kind of shitty because the anti-cheat doesn't work. So community servers are the only thing really keeping this game alive. And then there's mods, and then if you have the mod, you know, it becomes a little bit more unstable because of said mods. So if you're on a community server, 9 times out of 10 you are. That's also something to take into consideration whenever you're driving. Bigger bases, more items in said bases, more shit to load. Not fun, especially when you're going 80. So, just a few things to think about, you know?